Do I need
Mic check? Check it again.
mic check? Mic check.
All
All right, we should be good now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Don't worry, nothing of important was said. Basically, I just said that back in the day, I was that motherfucker when it came to training. Can I say when is all right? That's the question of the day. How far back, like how long does it have to be for you to be able to say back in the day? Like, because music radio stations kind of confuse me because, like, when I think back in the day, I think like when I was like maybe like 20 years ago, shit, maybe not even now, because a decade isn't really, because a decade you could still be in a trend. Yeah, it got to be 20 years ago. Yeah, full cycle, right? Yeah. So back in the day should be that, because I don't know if I can say back in the day, because I was when did the blip happen? We go into COVID. I mean the quarantine. How long ago was that? 3 years ago now? 2020. Yeah, 2020. So like, yeah, I never stopped. Like, I liked life better when quarantine happened. Yeah, because y'all out here just doing shit. Like, but but yeah, so I can't say when I was training, I was really, really good at it. I still do it. I dabble because I have a gift at it. It's kind of just like breaking, just like coaching football. I don't like coaching football. I coach football because I'm good at it. And shout out to everybody who joined us on me and CJ on Monday for our Monday evening quarterback. We will do that every Monday. We're working on getting the actual all 22 footage, not just of Clemson, of LSU. I'm not going to do at Southern Miss, but LSU and Boston College as well. So we'll have some content maybe next Monday where we break down the stuff so that you can actually listen to guys who have actually experienced and played the sport. Um, Upon further review, we found out that Fuller isn't that bad of a DC. That was the moral of the story. Fuller had them cats in some shit. Like they was live, man. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of cool. So it's up there. And I want y'all to realize, man, we were sitting that motherfucker for 13. I wasn't looking at the chat because I was trying to, try to do what Miles does. Like I had the YouTube. So I was looking at the video and we were breaking down. And I did not realize ESPN pulled the plug on us. We went, so I'm probably gonna I don't know how I'm gonna release it on Facebook. That's what I would do. I'm going to, because it's still on our StreamYard. I'm going to release it onto my Sports Den Facebook page because I can't get paid off of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I don't want to jam. Luckily, it didn't say that it wasn't a strike on my account, so I was lucky on that one. But I want y'all to see, because we went 13 minutes. We was getting good. But then what was wild is we were like at like almost like 70. Like it was, the views were going up. And then I just peeped in real quick. And then I saw it went down to 18. I'm like, damn, this shit. I was like, oh, well, it's late. People tired. They don't feel like hearing this shit no more. And then I was like, wait, but what's going on? I was like, but why did it? So I started getting insecure. And then I looked at my phone, and my phone, somebody texted me, and they were just like, yo, your stream cut out. And I was like, Chris, it was Chris with Sporadics. Chris was like, man, that's stupid. You use the ESPN footage, and ESPN bammed you. And I'm like, damn. They've done it to this show before too. We used some Disney stuff like one time, and it was like Disney, but I think they got us like the last part of the show or something like that. And like Disney bammed us, and I'm just like, man, fuck that mouse. Yeah, that one, which they basically took my whole. This is why I got to get money. I need y'all to get the views up, and I need the streaming deals, because Disney's stealing my life. They literally made a whole cartoon about me and my sisters visiting Columbus, Ohio with my dad for the first time when I found out he was a bounty hunter, and he took me on the hunt with him, and my mother cussed him, slapped the fuck out. Like, I'd never seen her that mad before. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you take a 10-year-old and give him a gun? I tell you, man, I really promise you guys this. Everybody has daddy issues, right? James Anthony Coleman Sr. was not. It was not. I don't. To some people, he's a great human. He wasn't a great dad by any stretch of the imagination. But the motherfucker is interesting, man. He is like, all I said, the reason why I don't have dad issues is because I realized that he did the best that he could do with the information that was presented to him. He still failed, but he did the best that he could do. And I listened to this man and I think about the things that I did. He is a Muslim that I know I promise you, Nation of Islam, full-fledged. This man has made me a fried bologna sandwich before. I have seen this man eat cold hot dogs before. I know for a fact that the only thing he follows with the Nation of Islam principles is that he doesn't believe he's not a Christian and he doesn't sleep with white women. That's the only thing he doesn't do. I know for a fact he doesn't like he's not racist, right? But he doesn't like white people. I don't know how you can be that. He works with white, do you know what I'm saying? Like, because he works with a lot of white people, but he's not racist. He just doesn't like white people. And for the you gotta, he doesn't trust them. Born in the 60s, grow up in the hood, been in the military, seen a lot of shit. I don't trust it, whereas I don't trust anybody like that. He just, but
I mean, if he got hit with a fire hose once.
Yeah, I mean, listen, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's some shit that, I could see why. It's like the comedian said, like when he was watching Fox News and he talked about black people are killing black people. And he says, yeah, that's true. But why the fuck am I finding out about this on Fox News? I should be learning about this on BET. We not fucking with y'all. He's like, he's like, if I saw a white person and they're scared, oh my God, you're gonna kill me. I said, no, bitch, get the fuck out of the way. I'm trying to shoot the black person behind you. So it's just shit like that. But anyways, I know, random. You guys know me. This is why it's Big Games BS. Brought to you by AlphaMaleJax.com. AlphaMaleJax.com is the go-to clinic to get your ass fucking right. Get fucking right. I'm going over there to get my blood work today. So I told you guys about the test for food allergies. So I'm going to go get my blood work. I'm going to get my test. Hopefully I think it's about 24 hours or 48 hours. Hopefully my labs will be back. I'll read them live on air for you, what I'm allergic to, so that y'all can hold me accountable. Well, it doesn't really matter. You ain't got to hold me accountable. I already told them. If they tell me I'm allergic to chicken, fuck that. If they tell me I'm allergic to Crown Royal, I'm fucking drinking Crown Royal, bro. Like, it's certain things that my grandmother said, if you're going to die, go out the way you want to go out. So I'm like, the last thing I want to do, imagine being vegan and dying still. Like, you with your whole life restricting yourself from deliciousness just to die like everybody else. Like, no, we're going to figure this shit out. But I think it's still cool. Again, check your hormone levels, check all of this other stuff out. If you're not in the state of Florida, that's cool. If you're not in Jacksonville, that's cool. I remember Miss Sandra asked, or Sandra, I don't know. We got Ramon or Raymond. Don't know which one it is, but whatever. We say both of them. You know who I'm talking about. She asked, she's in Gainesville. How do you get it done? You have to go to alphamalejax.com. Talk to Christina, and then she'll put in the script for you so that they know exactly what to test. So you'll get all of those things. If you're over 30, we're doing labs for you. We're doing a free lab reading. Your lab should be paid by your insurance and all that other jazz anyway. So, yeah. So I know I was wilding for that. But go check them out. If you can't, it's so many ways you can support your favorite streaming shows and your media, guys. One, if we say we have a sponsor, support the fucking sponsor. Like, if you like us, go support the sponsor, right? So, like, also, I'm inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. You're going to drink. A lot of y'all smoke cigars. Why not come drink and smoke cigars here? You know, if you like me, shit. Like, come help us. Holla at your boy. Matter of fact, why don't you hand me that cap right there? I forgot. I got my guy, Papa G, one of the winners. I think it was from Friday's show. We do not support we did not give away the Bulls hat. He wanted the Jaguars cap, so we got the MFTK hat. We will have more MFTK apparel coming soon, but I'm leaving this up here at Goodfellas so my guy can come pick it up. I forgot who the other guy is. I can't think of the top of my name, but I know who you are, but I just can't think of it. But I'll put your FSU MFTK cap in the mail today. I'm going to walk over. I gotta go walk by UPS to get the Alpha Male Jack. So that's kind of kill two birds with one stone. But I say all that to say is if you support them, support these things, or fucking subscribe. Like right now, we are literally 32 subscribers away from 3,000. Just get me there, guys. Just it benefits you. Play in the fantasy football league. Play in the I gotta read the winners off too after this. Play in the college pick'em. Play in the pigskin pick'em. Become a member. Like right now, we're down to 50. We're at 52 members now. So we were at 109. We dropped down. I know some people gifted memberships. These are all. It's a variety of different ways you can do. Membership has its perks. You want the hotel discounts for game day. FAMU homecoming's coming up. You need a hotel. I got you on the rate for that too. It's not just FSU games. A whole bunch of stuff that I'm trying to do with this community to be able to help you live your life and have the dreams, especially that all-in package. All-in package is crazy as fuck. It's dope as shit. You know, again, as I was telling Miles, a lot of this shit I don't know is dope. I really don't know. It's just regular ass life to me. But if you want to be able to live your regular ass best life and dope as shit, holla at your boy. Like if you think it's cool, holla at me. I don't really know how to tell you outside of that. But shit, Brandon B. Lynn, VTech, Duke, Miami sold out. You know where the game's not sold out yet at? Inside of the big games BS. We get to 3K. I'm giving away 2 pairs of tickets for next week's game. We also have, we'll talk about it. 2 pairs of tickets. We get to 5,000 before the Miami game. I'll give away 2 pairs of tickets to the Miami game. So again, that's how you'll be able to get in. And my all-in members, y'all know how we rolling. I'm gonna do my damnedest to make sure we have the sideline passes. So you come on, holler at me, your boy. You get some pregame access to see what it's like being on the field in Doak S. Campbell Stadium. Right now, it looks like we're gonna have a tailgate for Virginia Tech, 3:30 kickoff. That means we can have the tailgate. I think we got the video, the picture for that. Because when I found out, it was dope as shit. Yeah, that's it right there. So 3:30 tailgate, get ready. If you're a complainer and you need to have an actual fucking bar at the fucking tailgate, don't come to the fucking tailgate. Stay your bougie ass over there with some other people that drinking craft beer and shit, even though we will have craft beer. But yeah. So all Dubs, you can make me a fucking offer. I will sell you some shit. I'm not opposed to sell. I'm a capitalist. I am not opposed to making money. So if you want to just hit me a DM, brother, I will give you this much. Them seats is good. I can tell you that. One thing James and Holman ain't doing is sitting in some bap ass seats. You know, so craft beer. If you want just craft beer and chicken tenders, man, go and do your thing, man. But we live over here, man. We gonna have red Solo cups. You got to bring your own fucking chair. You get so drunk you don't even care. I've sat on my ass at Lot 19 before, so vibe. Like just come to who comes to football games to fucking complain. Who raised some of you people? It's going to a good cause. My cause. Cause I need a house. Cause my kid needs some shoes. No, I'm just joking. Nah, it doesn't go to me. But like we're trying to get Jack. What people don't know, and his family doesn't know, and hopefully you guys won't show this to his family, but he'll find out. Jack is going blind. He's already blind, Jack Holman. We're trying to get Jack some titties, man. Jack needs to... Hey, I'm gonna play this right. You don't really even need to see the actual clip because one of my good friends, Jason Farrell, I think Jason didn't send this to me. Sam sent me this shit. Somebody sent me this shit. It was hilarious. It was the most hilarious. It sounded like me. Yeah, this is it. So here we're gonna play this.
How you doing, champ? I got Candace here from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and she's here to talk to you about titties. What?
What?
I want titties from Make-A-Wish. That's not, we can't do that.
Man, y'all can't do shit at this hospital, bro. First of all, y'all can't cure shit. Obviously, because I'm about to fucking die. Then, y'all tell me I can't see no titties for my final wish and shit.
You're too young to be worried about titties.
Too young? Bitch, titties are for all ages. The first thing a baby get when it's born is a titty. And I just want my last thing to be a titty. I ain't even asking for both no more. I just want a titty. Sorry, Joshua. No matter how loudly you make your points, we can't get you titties. You know what? That's not fucking fair, bro. What's the fucking point of life? Go ahead and pull my plug right now. Y'all ain't gonna give me what I want. Joshua, don't talk like that. Let me ask you a question, doctor. If you were dying, and somebody came in here saying, what would you want your last wish to be? What would it be?
God damn it, he's right.
When's about what?
If I were in Joshua's position, I would wish for titties too.
Oh my God.
We need all hands on deck. Get this little boy some titties. Stat.
This little son of a bitch is gonna see some titties today.
Jokes. But we do want Jack to have a great time. Duke game is coming up. We're gonna make sure his family is on VIP and having a great time there. And again, if somebody wants to sacrifice, we'll say thank you for your service. Let this man see some titties before he goes blind. I want his last sights of whatever to be some of the best sights when he gets a chance to come experience Doak S. Campbell Stadium. Yeah, so if you want to donate, mftkfoundation.com, you can go to that. MFTK Foundation at Venmo, money sign MFTK36, or mftkfoundation at gmail.com if you want to pay through PayPal and all of that stuff right there. What else I got for housekeeping? Oh, I want to brag on my running back because y'all know I love my kids. My guy Tion Weiss leads the city in rushing yards. He's got 11 touchdowns on the year, 9 rushing touchdowns. I just want y'all to see, just what we do. I don't understand why he doesn't have the offers that he has, but maybe somebody watches it. Maybe somebody's at a school. Maybe somebody just wants a really good fucking kid to be able to come out there and make, like, he is the best player on the team full of studs. He's just not as tall or big as everybody else, but he ain't fucking petite. Like, he's actually good sized football player. And if you saw his dad, you would be like, yo, he's gonna grow. Mom and dad are actually dad is a little tall, might be taller than me, or at least close to my height. His brother, which sucks for him, his brother's 6'1" already, and he's a sophomore. They run exactly the same. And his brother's a wide receiver. His brother's gonna be that deal, man. But anyways, that's enough for that. Make sure you guys go jam the like button. We got a good amount of people in here watching it. Continue to tell your friends. Let's continue to grow Den Media Group and the BS so that we can, just share the BS with everybody, man. That's what it's about. Encouraging people to party. Going into, okay, we talked about Monday morning quarterback. If you can pull that up, Miles. Me and CJ Wilson, we did our thing. I'm not going to play it because I don't want this one to not be monetized and get fucked over. But every Monday we'll be checking that. It still is on the channel. The views still do count toward making sure I keep my view count up. So please go check it out. It's at least 36 solid minutes before it breaks out. Where we're breaking down the Clemson game. It goes into talking a lot about stuff. You'll learn some new terminology that's actually used in football. Like, I've yet to see a show talk about banjo coverage. We talk about all kinds of different things with all of that stuff. So go check it out. Bud Elliott made a comment that's getting into it. Bud Elliott does a good job. A lot of guys do good jobs. I just think sometimes people get a little pretentious with it, but not saying this about Bud. But Bud did a good job of breaking down Keon Coleman, but he really went off of my boy Jordan Reed, who I did see at Clemson. I'm going to, again, I got to get nephew to give me a date and get with John Phillips so that we could get Tiger King's attorney on. But Jordan Reed is somebody that I'm going to try to get on for a weekly, just breaking down from an NFL scout's perspective, our prospects. Again, a member-only event, so we'll do member-only for the lives, but we'll make it available to everybody. What we'll probably have to do, because I'm trying to find out how to attach, like, because I can only do it through YouTube if I did it member only. But if I did it through StreamYard, my streaming software, I can actually have I can send him a link. But what we may end up doing is putting in the member section the StreamYard link, so that you guys can join live there. I want you to be able to ask your questions, be able to engage, and be able to see it, and then we'll post it up on YouTube later. But Jordan Reed was talking about Trey's older brother, Keon Coleman, and this is another question. So one of the questions is, how old does it have to be back in the day? The second question is that Bud Elliott posed: is Keon Coleman the best FSU wide receiver since Peter Ward? He said, I threw it out in Noah Cav's group chat last night, expecting pushback, and got none, which is disrespect. Should I call him? Should I? Fuck it. Let's see. While we're talking about that, go ahead and show what Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed talks about Keon Coleman having 10 contested catches, and he's 10 for 10 in all of his contested catches. So he's pretty good. I mean, hey man, I got a question for you. Every time I see these things, man, I got to pose this question because you are the GOAT. Have you got I know you've been watching the games. I know you've been there. So 4, right? At Florida State.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on him?
He's an athlete. He ain't no receiver.
All right. So if somebody posed a question, is he the best receiver since Peter Ward? What would your thoughts be on that? And is he comparable right now, or is the sample size just not big enough yet?
I think, like, I know he's athletic, but I don't see like just me. You know, you my guy. We talk. I think against like better teams that we gonna face, like we trying to do like Georgia or Ohio. We can't just throw deep.
On that real quick. I think is getting a lot of disrespect. Now, he didn't do nothing for the Jags when I had to cover him, but Rashad Green was dirty at Florida State, though. We also had, I just thought about it, man. I'm so fucking tired of everybody shitting on when I played. Goddamn, we had Crefonzo broke the goddamn record. Who, Quan? He QB better than him. And Quan better than him. Oh, man, you done made me, I done got mad. Now I'm talking to you. All right. What game you coming back to? What's the next game you coming to? I'm throwing tailgate. You sliding?
I think I might, bro.
All right. Well, cool. I'll hit you back.
Okay.
All right. The boys gonna give you everything. They're gonna give you the unadulterated truth. What's funny though is, like, for y'all who don't really, if you don't know Pete, right? If you don't know who that was Peter Ward. That's good. I didn't need y'all to hear something. I know why you couldn't hear him, Adrian, because he was telling it, he was getting too real. I didn't want that. I didn't want that on wax. Yeah. Oh, okay. You muted. Oh, thank God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. It was, and again, it's not one thing about Pete is Pete will say that to the kids' face. So, like, it's not thing. So, like, but like, I just think it was out of since Pete. I mean, goddamn, dog. Like, I just thought about it because it was just me, not even really just because thinking about the national championship thing, Rashad Green. But then I'm like, wait a minute, hold the fuck up. Like PK Sam, I know a lot of y'all don't like PK, but PK is out there motherfucker getting CTE for the cause. Because if y'all don't know, I don't think Sean Taylor hated PK. Because if you go look at Sean Taylor's highlights, it's a bunch of him hitting PK Sam. And shout out to Jeremiah Sneed. Welcome to the den. Gotta give props to that. But yeah, Dub, like Snoop was after Dub. You got Snoop, you got Jaywalk, you got QB, you got Crow, you got Crofonzo, not Crow 1-3, but Crow 1. You got it's a lot of cats that you got to just man, listen, bro. Listen, man. But Keon is dope. I just think the sample size isn't big enough yet. And I'm gonna give Keon more props because he's Trey's older brother, apparently. So we're gonna and I love the last name. So appreciate you, Jeremiah. Said it finally became a member, been rocking with you since the 50 5-cent chat. You know what? I think I'm gonna do something to piss people off now that my little brother is no longer a part of the Fruit Roll-Up Network. Show of hands, how many guys are going to Gainesville, are going to go to, or you would consider going to Gainesville if there were TVs at a tailgate and you could show up? So just think about that as you guys are going through the chat. If you would consider going to Hogtown, let me know because I'm considering throwing the tailgate in Hogtown. I like going to other people's traps and taking over their traps. I want to see if some people are as engaging as they like to talk. Because I remember we had some guys come to the tailgate last year. They were very friendly, extremely friendly at the tailgate. I had some people ask if they needed to have a conversation with them, and I told them, nah, man, they come in peace. So there's no need to have those kind of conversations. And but I think the energy has shifted a little bit. And I would like to see if the energy is the same. Sometimes, when you're in enemy territory and, sometimes people talk a little differently. Not me, but some people do. So maybe if we're at their home turf, maybe they'll feel froggy. And we'll go have a good time. Or if we'll have a good time either way. But Florida State, teams in the red zone, 100%. College football home. Shout out to the 50 Cent Network. They're part of that. So when y'all talking shit about CFB home, you're talking shit about me. Trust, I'm not writing it, but just letting you know. Teams 100% in the red zone. Wisconsin's 18 for 18. Florida State 17 for 17. Meaning we're not like Clemson where we're going to put a 35-year-old walk-on kicker in and miss a chip shot. Once we get into the red zone, we scoring in that bitch, which is wild because I think the interception that Travis threw against LSU was just before we got inside the 20, which is the red zone. Everybody's talking about Miami's 4-0 start in Big 3 Twitter. Just want everybody to understand opponents' talents based upon 247 metrics. Clemson had the 5th most talented roster in the nation, LSU the 7th, Boston College 54th, Southern Miss 106. Texas A&M had the 4th most talented roster. Temple 81st, Miami of Ohio 109th, Bethune-Cookman 143rd. Florida 16th with Tennessee, Utah 33rd, Charlotte 80th, McNeese State 200th. So just letting people know Florida State has actually played some people with pulses and things like that. But man, Florida State beat Clemson, and you would have thought like the world has ended. Like they are mad. Like people are really, really fucking mad. My guy, the Tiger King, he's out here, talking trash and trolling Jay Trav. People got to realize he calls himself the Tiger King because he beat both two teams that happen to be Tiger mascots. He beat LSU and he beat Clemson. But here's what people have to do. This is what fans take it too far. And this is what I know. I would play a game that they play on Breakfast Club where they joke around and say, guess what race it is? Because we can tell. Black people don't talk like this, but Jordan Travis can go fuck himself. Dude has the nerve to sell a Tiger King shirt like he owned us or something. They barely won the game and has lost 3 times to us. Technically, he's lost more. This is his 5th year. It's also like, whatever. 6 years, excuse me. So he's lost 4 times. Yes, they won the game, and I respect that. But the defense showed everybody that dude ain't a Heisman candidate. They never led in regulation. Some king. What an arrogant shithead. Like, damn, dog. Tell us why you mad, son. God, how you really feel about J Trav, man? God damn. Over a shirt that he ain't even getting the pro. You know, all the profits go to split evenly between the starting offensive line. Yeah, that's what he does with these shirts when he makes these. Like, he's actually really. And what you know what's wild with these comments? You know, people brag about Dabo, just how much of a follower of Christ he is. That's just what I love. Christians are baffling me these last couple of days. I got former friends, which is funny. They're getting it. She's one's a politician. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck about her or anything. I couldn't happen to a better person. She's getting a divorce from her girlfriend. I mean, from her wife. Yeah, I said that right. She's a politician in the state of Florida. She is the petty princess, but the person the person that she's getting a divorce from said, "This is God punishing me because I slept with a married woman before." I said, "Wait a minute. You think this is where God's going to step in and punish you now?" Like, not the premarital sex, not the fact that, again, I make these jokes because I don't really care. I don't care if you're, I'm an ally, especially lesbians. I love lesbians. Not these two. These two wouldn't be the type that I would want to watch. But the point is that if people think homosexuality is a sin, it might be. I'm not here to debate that. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of sins that were committed, and you think, and the Bible says no sin is greater than the other one, but you think the married woman one, like, that's what made you go through this? Yeah, whatever, man. Like, people are wild, but at the end of the day, fuck them. But I'm just like, when I see stuff like this, like, oh my God. Like, if we said some shit like that some of these other people said, they would be so mad at us. Look at that fan base. It's classless. You called a kid that you don't even know an arrogant shithead. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're talking about a kid. The first person to respond about Jack Coleman needing to see some titties. I mean, excuse me. Jack Coleman wanted to come to a Florida State game was Jordan Travis. He's probably one of the most selfless kids on the team. He's a little bit too nice, in my opinion. But that's just not it. But fuck him. I'm going to kind of keep it with the positives. Iron Dad 912. Not sure if you're listening to this, but he is all for the campaign. He understands why our kicking game is so much better. Tits for fits. And he also understands the reference. Sometimes you just got to get you a BBW. Drake had a rhyme. Again, if Drake wasn't such a bitch, I would love his music more. But he says some shit that's just good. And Drake said, "I like my girls BBW. Type to want to give you some head and eat some lunch with you." And I think Fitz got him a nice, beautiful black woman, and his hips are not a lot looser. If you've noticed, like, with his kicks, it's just like he's just getting right through it, swinging through it. Love it. Tits for Fitz campaign. I think he should be rewarded. Again, consensual for whatever college co-ed young lady did this. We appreciate you guys for your service. Bud Elliott still spitting. Got another thing on here, just talking about Florida State a little bit. Jaden Daniels against FSU before garbage time. He was 21 for 36, 59% completion percentage. He had 271 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Against SEC opponents before garbage time, he is 50 for 63, 79%, 681 yards, 10.8 yards per attempt, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Let's keep the FSU defense sucks stuff in context. Is it a top 5 defense? No. But it doesn't suck. And when I saw Buds post that, Miles, you got to show the Lil Wayne gift right there. I couldn't believe this was Bud Elliott talking like this, because when I read it, my face, woof. This Pilgrim spitting. That's what I said about Bud. My dog Bud Elliott was out that thing dropping bars. Clemson fan base talks a lot about referees and how there's cheating. They were cheating for Florida State. If you go click on that Marvin Jones tweet, Miles, I think complaining about refs in a loss is an exercise in futility. It doesn't really matter. Like at the end of the day, you can't go back. They can't go back and say, "Oh, we missed right here." But go down first, Miles. Like before we show the video. But let's just look at some of these clips from the Florida State side. So what I say with this is that it's clear that both sides had some things. If you just click on let's look on each one of these pictures real quick. So right here, 56 is 50. This is a tag team. This is a threesome. We don't want that. Yeah, that's you got Putnam is somebody who decided not to come here. But I mean he's holding him. Like this is just, you know what? This is you about to fight somebody and that person's gonna whip somebody's ass, and then two people jump real quick. Hey, hold up. That's what they did to save their quarterback. If you go to the next one, just push the button. You see 77 right there? That is a clear hold, a lot of jersey. Actually, it's two holds on this one right here. Go to the next one. He's just trying to take it from Jared Verse right here. That is not how you teach blocking technique. And then we go to the last little thing right here. Fabo is definitely being held right here. That is not optimal. But, they didn't get caught. But this is a rule, this video we're going to show. And what's wild about the rule is I had a kid ask me, like, hey, coach, what if I know you can't touch the long snapper. What if I just jumped over the long snapper? But the rule is you can't jump over your teammates because they could consider that launching. You can step on somebody, jump over. They don't want you doing any of that stuff. They're trying to increase safety. It is supposed to be a flag. This would have been a first down. This could have got us a touchdown. It could have potentially changed the game. But go ahead and push play. Fitz makes it, and that's cool. I don't want to take any tits away from Fitz. But look at this right here.
Just 3 out of 3. Kicked a lot of field goals so far.
That's a clear hurdle.
Just 3 out of 3.
Clear hurdle.
Kicked a lot of field goals so far.
Should have been thrown. The referee's right there. Like, not that one. Like right in front of him. Like right behind him. Like you see it. I sometimes wonder what the fuck do referees really be looking at sometimes. Like, and it's always, as a coach, they always throw the flag on a thing that doesn't matter, like sideline warning. Like, you're not anywhere near the game, but like you're looking like, get me started on referees. High school referees, they get a bad rap. But these guys are getting paid a lot of money to do what the fuck they do. So they should be better. Last but not least, we still have guys like Josh Pate and that sassy France, sissified bitch Robert Young or RJ Young, not to be confused with our RJ. Clemson will absolutely win this game. FSU, say less. Well, you needed OT, and this is what they look like. That's the Cardi B stance. Because in regard to this, Florida State needed overtime to beat Clemson. Duke, Clemson about 71, 17-year-old me, not in football. And then that's just him. And then, Jen Knoll, 2013. Does she follow me? She follows me. She's a diehard Knoll, born and raised in Memphis. So I know she about that life. She loves her Tigers and the Grizzlies. If you don't like sports, don't follow her. But she's following me. Blonde hair, probably somebody that, a lot of you guys would get up like that. She asked him simply, if you scroll down, Miles, you can see the tweet if you want to put that up there. But she's the first one. Keep on. Actually, click on that. Click on the his tweet. Yep, that one. And then scroll right there, that one. And then this got people mad at me, right? I don't know why they mad at me, but people got mad at me. She said, this might take your wife. And I simply just stated the obvious, but everyone's thinking, I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's into the same things that Mike's into. Just saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a disability. I don't know why people act like that's like a derogatory thing. There's nothing wrong with tasting your words and who you like. I am an ally. That being said, I don't think he has a wife. And if he has a wife, I don't think she's very happy. Or they like the same things. That's just my opinion. One guy's opinion. Nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. God bless America. No place else. College football is having some changes. On 3 Sports talks about the college football playoff, the 12-team playoff that comes into effect next year that I believe will completely change the way a lot of us enjoy football. You're going to bitch. You're going to cry. You're going to complain. It's going to make it more like the NFL. More teams will have a chance. But the College Football Playoff Committee is leaning towards a 5+7 format for the expanded playoff. A 5+7 format means the top 5 conference champions and the next 7 highest ranked teams would make the 12-team college football playoff. This would make it easier for somebody who has lost 2 games to be able to get into it. So what that means is your traditional powers like Alabama, who probably will lose 2 games this year, will not be out of contention for a national championship. A lot of good 2-loss teams last year, like USC, would have been in the college football championship, which would have probably made the ratings go through the roof because you would have had a Cali team out there ready to get after it. But I personally think that would be cool. The only problem is what the fuck is going to happen with the ACC and with the Pac-12, because both those conferences are going down. So I don't know, like that rule might help for a few years, but like they're going to definitely have to make changes to that rule. 247 Sports puts college football's most impressive teams in September via Bud Crawford 247. Washington Huskies. If you haven't been watching Washington Huskies and Michael Penix, like you've been missing out. Them guys are like exciting brand of ball. Shout out to my boy Jason Roberts. No, they're number 1. Number 2, Florida State. Number 3, Duke. Very impressive wins that Duke's had. Texas, very impressive wins that Texas had. Missouri, Colorado. That TCU win definitely gives Colorado the right to be there because, again, even though they got their asses whooped by Oregon, don't be a hater. None of us had them beating TCU on our bingo board. Nobody was going to do that. Fresno State, couldn't tell you. Kansas, what Leopold is doing out there is amazing. Oklahoma and I don't know, North Carolina, I'm not sure about that. Notably left off Florida and Miami because nobody gives a fuck that you beat the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And for my betting people, I appreciate y'all helping me out with this. College football national championship odds via FD Sportsbook. I really, 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 really need one of these fucking things to happen already so that because I don't want to put a bet on a sports book that I'm not using, that I'm not promoting. And I do have one, but like, I hate the frustration that sometimes presented with life. But Georgia is plus 200, Michigan's plus 600, Florida State's plus 800. And my question was, I don't know what the fuck that means. Plus 800. So like I was like, if I put a couple stacks on that game, what would that get me? And they're like, it's 8 times your bet. And that's a lot, man. Is that really what it is? Plus 800? That's got to be wrong, right? Everybody's somebody put 8 times. So if I bet $2,000, that's $16,000. That's $16,000 that Florida State could get me. Because if gambling is like that, right? If I was Floyd Money Mayweather, I would bet large, stupid sums of money too. It's better than the stock market. Luby on air put 8-1. Oh man, so 1 stack is 8,000. 2 stacks, 16. Man, I don't know if I trust Mike and them like that, but that would get me more emotionally invested. So I would be more like a lot of y'all if I put that kind of money in it because of the money that I can make. I see. I can see why people like sports more when they bet. Like the parlays and stuff like that, like knowing you put $5 and you can make $500,000 for some impossible shit, and then the ones that look like they're about to happen, and then you lose one thing, I can feel the heart racing. I can feel it. Like that gives you a reason to be alive. I'm with you on that, guys. I might start gambling a little bit. Because he's still popular, and there's some things that have happened since the game that I agree with, that I like, and that I also can provide context. I want to tell people why I think somebody put under one of my posts, you don't like Deion. And I'm like, yes, you're right. I don't. But but I also not a hater. I like Deion the coach. They actually put it under my post about other black coaches being successful this year, which I think is ironic. But I'm going to tell you guys why for the people who like Deion that are listening to this, that can't understand why people are, oh, well, that's not interesting. What Sports Zone 904 put, if I bet $10, you win 18. Oh, so it is. So it's 8 times. So, okay. So a stack could give me 8,000. Oh, because I'm about to say, if it's $10, if I bet $10, I only get $18 back. That's not enough for me. I don't want to lose $10 to barely double my money, but it's like that, I'm willing to lose a stack to get 8. But anyways, the media is why we actually hate Deion. The media is why some of you love Deion. And it's not Deion's antics. It's like the way that Deion's antics are getting played by other people. Anybody heard that bullshit that Keyshawn Johnson said? Keyshawn Johnson, one, contradicted himself in an entire statement saying that he doesn't think Oregon needed it. Oregon was just a better overall team. But he's like, but I heard from sources that Oregon had other college coaches calling him and telling them how to beat Deion. Anybody with brain cells looked at the schedule and said there are a few teams that Deion has no chance of beating because of Colorado's roster. Oregon was one of them. It wasn't even the worst Oregon-Colorado defeat. Oregon has beat the other black coaches way worse. Because if you don't remember, Colorado has hired 3 straight black coaches. I know some of you guys are just on this bandwagon, but Colorado happens to hire black coaches. It's annoying because it's implying that like you're belittling somebody else while trying to uplift another person. And I don't think that's what you have to do. If you don't realize this, Dan Lanning won a national championship as a defensive coordinator. Dan Lanning is a really, really good defensive-minded coach. I don't think he needs. Now, do people share film? All the fucking time. But you want to know something? You don't need to share film. They have access to every film that you can possibly want when you're in the All 22 network. So like they ain't got to call. It ain't like high school where I got to go call Colorado State or like what happens. Like, so this is what happens in high school ball. Traditionally speaking, it used to be coaches used to drive and meet each other like halfway. This is like back in the anarchy days. Now everything's electronic. You send your last 2 games to the coach that you're playing, and y'all swap film. But what happens is a lot of coaches have networks, and so they go and they'll ask, like, you play Spruce Creek High School, and we'll go ask Spruce Creek for the film that they play because they typically will give you the better film. A lot of schools have 2 films. It's bad film, and there's the film that they use, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But that's not how college works. Plus, college, these guys got to recruit. These guys got to break down film. They got to coach. They got to babysit other kids. They got their own family. You think that they're going to take time from trying to win and beat their current opponent to try to beat Deion? You are a fuck tool, to use some random like Pilgrim slang. Like, bro, like it ain't nobody formed the Illuminati to beat a team that won 1 game last year and that barely beat Colorado State. I can promise you that. But the reason why is because of Keyshawn Johnson's. But I'm also starting to side with my older pilgrims that don't like Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill just sometimes talk, and I want you to actually post Smooches, my homegirl Smooches, Florida State fan, really good troller. And she says what I think a lot of women feel sometimes when the Jamel Hills of the world, the I forgot the girl who hits after the whistle name right now. Josina Andersons of the world say, because Josina Anderson made the statement, y'all wouldn't be beating them like that if Travis Hunter was there. And I tweeted, like, bitch, does Travis Hunter play left tackle? Because that's clearly what's getting them beat right now. But Smooch has put, this is why we get told to stay in the kitchen. You can't even enjoy cinematic videos. And what happens is Jamel Hill's comment was, pretty awesome video, but obvious irony. Accusing the team you just beat of being in it for clicks and then releasing a whole hype video for clicks. Also, Colorado players were definitely talking their shit before the game per the video. It's college football. This is how it's supposed to go down. Apparently, Jamel does not realize that literally every school in America now does cinematic hype videos in losses and wins. But I want to play this video so that we can see what she's talking about. Not all of it, but we'll click on it a little. Actually, click on it so we can scroll to Shiloh's
20
part.
teams coming together.
Yeah, go a little bit back. Go back some miles. Go a little bit more right there. We can start play right here, and let's get that sound. Yeah, it's there. Now I want you guys to listen. Now before we get into it, I don't want to alarm anybody, but shit like this happens in football games. People talk shit. People also get they wig split for talking shit. Disrespect get met with disrespect. So go ahead and push the play.
Everybody's tired of hearing about the question, and that's going to show up on the football.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Watch this.
Does that all mean something to you? Does that all mean something to you? Yeah, sure as hell mean.
If anybody remember what happened with Nebraska, they went to the Buffalo. Oh, Shadur was like, they disrespected the Buffalo. That's why we had to beat them. Colorado State went over there and did, well, even though I think, whatchamacallit, Bad Rule lied, so we were trying to prey on the Buffalo. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Colorado State did the same thing. It was disrespectful when it was cool when you do, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it, fuck them. That's basically what happened, man. And I got news for you. Deion fans, they're going to get their asses whooped again this week. But again, it's not just Jamel Hill. It's not just the fact that a lot of you guys try to make this if you don't support Deion, you're a coon type thing. Because here's what's happening. Click on this mile with the walk-on coach, my boy Carlos Lachlan. I think it's Carlos, but he's a good coach. Used to be at Florida State. Now he's the running backs coach at Oregon. Great guy. And he posted, I will post his good message. And I wish I could figure out some of those civil rights songs to put behind that cinematic recap, because every time people talk about Deion, they talk about him in a manner in which it's like, Actually, I was looking for Hookers on the Point. It is a song that just sounded like sad and bluesy, where they were following HBO used to show it all the time. And I wanted to put it because people were trying to make them the victims after they got their asses whooped. But I'm like, this is what happens when you talk shit, get your wig split. Skip Bayless. Is Deion's Colorado now Black America's team? Now on Undisputed.
He knows what to do, man. That's a goat right there.
I'm saying, but this is why people don't like him. Deion didn't do anything, but Deion could kill this.
Yeah.
But Skip Bayless is doing this, so now it's knowing this controversy. And Carlos, black guy, big black guy, nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and he added Skip Bayless so that you know I'm talking about you, bitch. Shout out, big Carlos Lachlan. Tell him that you want your collar ruffled. My boy Big No put this thing up, and I do hope Shiloh's fine. I think somebody put that he's fine. Shiloh Sanders pregames. I'll beat the fuck out of any one of y'all and y'all coach. Why y'all so little? We fitting to run through y'all ass. Shiloh Sanders. Also, Shiloh Sanders, Colorado quarterback Shiloh Sanders taken to the emergency room after the Oregon game. Piss and blood. At this point, can we even blame the Colorado State player for hitting Travis Hunter if every week somebody pissing blood? Like, I'm just saying, it's the defendant. Now, I will say this, though. Boy, Shiloh Sanders, I saw some of the highlights. Boy, Shiloh Sanders was out that thing banging. He was banging. I didn't know he could hit like that. Props to Shiloh. And then the fan base, this is why people hate you. Hardhead in one of the, I think it was a YouTube comment or something like that, going over in a thread, Charles Kelly, Colorado's defensive coordinator, is best friends with Bo Nix's dad. Bo Nix is Oregon's QB. 2 + 2 = 4. So a guy who's making really, really good money is going to sacrifice his career for his friend. Y'all really don't know how this fucking game works, man. And again, this is why people hate Deion. It's not Deion per se. It's you. Skip Bayless literally had moral outrage. And Dan Lanning's pregame speech, we played it on Monday. It's literally the same pregame speech that almost every high school coach, every college coach gives. You're trying to motivate your players. Was it substance over clicks? We're going to do our talking with the pads, blah, blah, blah. But now Dan Lanning felt the need to have to apologize or to talk about his statements because of things that Skip Bayless has. If we could play that audio that we have with Dan Lanning discussing the stupidity of the media that is all getting paid for this.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk nationally about your pregame speech and your aggressive play calling. I think Skip Bayless called it venomous vengeance. Just curious what your thoughts are on that and kind of how your words have been skewed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Skip at all. I've never had a conversation with him. I've watched him enough to know how often he gets it wrong. So, I mean, that sounds about right. But, I mean, ultimately, here's what I say. We're playing to win the game, right? And you saw a 15-second clip from a window view outside the house of what happens in the locker room, right? I know our locker room. I'm in the house 100% of the time. I know how our players felt going into that game. And I know what it takes to motivate our players. That's my job, to motivate our players, right? He has a job. I have a job too, to get out there and to perform on the field. But inside that house, they felt a certain way. They felt a certain way about a group stomping on the O. They felt a certain way about guys talking to them in the pregame. And I'm proud of those guys because what they decided to do is talk with their pads, right? They didn't want to do anything extra afterwards. They want to talk with their pads, and they did that on Saturday. I'm also grateful and can clearly acknowledge that the attention that we got this Saturday, in large part, was due to Deion and what he's doing to college football. And if anybody can't see what he's done for college football and how he's bringing excitement to college football, you're crazy, right? And I said that last week as well.
And that's very complimentary.
He's done a lot for the game. He's building something over there. I think that's really, really clear.
Again, guys,
there's no secret there, but it wouldn't matter.
I'm talking about this because everybody keeps stating, why? I just don't understand how you can't like, bitch, it's you. That's why we don't like him. Like, we don't necessarily dislike him. We dislike the way that you're making it seem like none of this shit has been happening before. Like, and it goes back to when he was at Jackson State. One, none of y'all are talking about HBCU ball anymore. You probably couldn't name a Jackson State player right now that he gutted in order to bring him to Colorado. You don't even know Jackson State's record. You don't know anything else about any other HBCUs. He's not even talking about HBCUs anymore. I'm going to talk about something that happened with 2 HBCU programs. You don't talk about, remember, again, he walked through another team's sideline and everybody was like, oh, well, that's just Deion. He's been doing that since forever. You make an excuse for everything. And as my boy Big Noel says, we make excuses for the people that we like. And there's nothing per se wrong with that. It's just like, guys, like it's almost like you can get a fatigue. And I'm really curious to if this constant fishbowl will kind of come and like hit him in the butt. And what I mean by that is it's not about if Deion can handle it. It's can the players handle the constant scrutiny that they're getting because they're not used to this. But I don't like just talking bad about people. I like talking good about people when I see something, but I also think that I don't know if he was out of pocket on this, not for how he handled it, but based on a rule perspective. And there's a couple people who I know who are in the game who have had questions about how Deion handles some things. Can you put this the video of him talking about Cormani McClain, Miles? And I think this is some full scale accountability being had right here. Cormani McClain, and I don't think any other coach, Sunday is illegal. Any other coach would have probably handled it the way that he handled it because they don't have the clout that he has. And I think it was right. Most people treat 5 stars with kid gloves. But here's what Deion Sanders is talking about, because when he was asked a direct question about why one of the best, the highest overall rated recruit in his class hasn't sniffed the field yet. And he's talked about it numerous weeks, but he gets a little bit more explicit this week.
Field was like Cormani. I wonder if you could elaborate on what you want to see him do, 1, and 2, did he help his case?
Study, prepare.
Study,
prepare, be on time for meetings, show up to the darn meetings. Understand what we're doing as a scheme. Want to play this game, desire to play this game, desire to be the best in this game, at practice, in the film room, and on your own free time. You do know that I check film time for each player upon the week. Thursday, I need film times from the whole staff so I can see who's been preparing. And that's just not about Cormani. It's about a multitude of them. So if I don't see that you would be a fool to put somebody out there and they're unprepared. Can't do it. Won't do it. Can't do it. I'm old school. I'm sorry.
Did Oregon help in that regard? He got out there late.
What was my guy? Mike Singletary, 49ers. Can't do it. Won't do it. I'd rather have 10 people out there and get penalized every play than have that happen. Talking about a great tight end that I played against too in college. I absolutely love the accountability and everything that Deion is doing right here. A lot of people like Deion because they say, from a coaching perspective, he says what's done inside, outside. He says what people are thinking or doing out loud. I told my friend who Deion reminded me of. He got upset when I said that. You know who else got popular? This is why I laugh at I laugh at my culture, my peoples. You hate when 4-5 does this, but this is literally the 4-5 model. He is literally doing the Trump model. Dave Chappelle had his Saturday Night Live skit said, he literally said, I know they're stealing money from you. You know how I know they're stealing money from you? Because I was in that room. And he's like, I'm going to expose it. And he literally let people know. He said what was on the inside and what people were thinking. And people gravitated to that level of realness. Even the people who would never be able to relate that in real life. That being said, there are rules. One of my favorite characters in John Wick is Winston. And he had this, I use it as a gift all the time. Rules. It's what separates us from the animals. The NCAA has this thing called the 20-hour rule. As an athlete, you are literally only required to give 20 hours of preparation, right? They actually do. They actually track it. I was on the Student Athlete Advisory Council. Every week, we met as a council, or maybe bi-weekly. And what they did was they gave us the sheets of paper, and it was our job to say, hey, we only worked out 20 hours. Now, your 20 hours are, like, it includes your game. So let's just say the game is 4 hours, right? So that gets you at 16. Now you divide 16 by, let's say, 4 practices. So that's 4 hours a day that you have to be able to, it might be more than that for the game, but I'm just using that. So you have about 4 hours a day to be able to go for practice. Well, practice is from 2:15 for most places, most schools, 2:15 to about 6:30 p.m. If you're good at math, you're already at your 20 right now. So weights and film study, you cannot be held accountable for. Those are things that you technically volunteer to do. Now, I remember when I did my punishments, technically coaches cannot punish you. And I have talked about this explicitly sometimes over the years, punishments that I had to do. And what I jokingly say is that my coach didn't make me do anything. I was so upset with my level of play that I decided that I needed to run extra after practice. And my coach, being the nice man that he is, sacrificed time from his family to make sure that I had somebody to ensure my safety while I was doing that. You see how we just flipped that? It's called voluntary, involuntary practices. You don't have to lift weights, but if you don't show up to weights, they're going to find somebody that wants to volunteer their time to get better. The problem is you can't suggest that somebody's being punished for not doing that. That is literally against the rules. I'm not saying that it's right. I like what Deion said. But what I'm saying is what Deion just did was, and what people who typically talk a lot do, is fucking incriminate himself. Zach Smith came out and basically said this. I didn't know I needed to say this, but since Twitter knows way more than a former college coach who has been beaten with compliance rules for 13 years, you cannot monitor voluntary film hours outside of the 20-hour rule and punish kids for it. Every school does it, but you can't talk about it. And Chad Williams puts in, we had to sign our compliance paperwork back in the day. I played D1 baseball. I remember signing the paperwork saying that I had only participated in 20 hours of baseball activities for the week. Every school, every sport does it. It's almost like, but it's not just that. Another rule that a guy brought into me, and this is what's going to be very interesting, and this is why I think Deion Sanders said a couple weeks ago that they need to eliminate the APR and change some of the rules. So you are allowed one free transfer per NCAA now, which I think is amazing. Your second transfer has to be with extenuating circumstances, and we've seen the NCAA be in the news for not allowing people to do these things. After the first transfer, the second so you get your one. So if you try to transfer out again, that school is responsible for your scholarship if nobody else picks you up. So how does that, and I had a friend post, how is Deion going to get around this rule? Because Deion had about 10 guys that transferred in the spring to Colorado that he put in the transfer portal to leave that haven't been able to get scholarships elsewhere. So that means Colorado is responsible for those 10 scholarships, which means that if you have 85 scholarships, you only have 75 available to be able to put on a football field. This is part of the reason why some of the people will say, hey, it's not that Deion can't succeed. It's that there's a lot of nuance that Deion doesn't understand, or that somebody in this spot isn't giving him the best advice on, because either that or he's not listening. Because if he was getting the best advice on all of this, you know what wouldn't be happening? Shit like this. So while I agree, I think more people need to do this kind of shit to 5 stars. I think it's crazy. But I think what happens, again, these guys are in a fishbowl. But speaking of HBCUs, FAMU played Alabama State last week. They beat them. And what I saw was a disturbing video that came out of there. This is just, it kind of reminded me of what happened with Brendan Gant with Colorado last week as well. But this is just foolishness. And what you got to understand is when you go to another school, they put your sideline is literally always the closest sideline to the fans. They do this shit for a reason. Fans can talk shit to you, but you can never let it get under your skin. And the bigger than that is you should never take it out on people who are just doing their job. Alabama State wide receiver Jacob Friedman was arrested for punching a security guard in the face during a game on Saturday. The incident, which was caught on video, started when Freeman lost his cool with a fan on the sidelines and tried to confront the fan. The security guard just did his job and attempted to step in and save him from himself, basically, which caused him to punch the security guard in the face. Just show the video. and it's sad. The security guard's just sitting there trying to do something, and he just sucker punches the guy. And now, because you could not calm yourself down, you are now going to jail. And the crazy thing is people know who to play with. You know that man ain't fit. That security guard's game. I've been there before when I got done with college and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just worked one of these jobs. You're not getting paid a lot of money. When you guys cuss out Safe and all these other people that work this, like these people aren't making a lot of money. Some of these people are doing this to support and supplement their income. Y'all talking shit to them and all this other stuff. It's a terrible person. And this guy literally was just trying to save you from yourself. Y'all know who to play with and who not to play with. Because goddamn it, it's something. If you would have fucked around with the right one that didn't need that job, and you would have got your little scrawny ass whooped. You know who also knows who to play with and who not to play with? Usher, baby. Usher Raymond knows who to play with and not to play with. We all know about Usher and Kiki, even though I think we were all bamboozled and fooled. Usher ain't going. Usher didn't go and but I think something we showed the women, and the women knew who their men was. We seen Savannah James, and what's Nipsey Hussle ex-girlfriend name? I forgot. Whatever. He came over singing to them. Lauren London, yeah, and he was just there like, no, going about that business. I think it was Sweetie who's dating the YG, who's blood. You ain't got to know who YG is, just know he's a gangbanger, notable gangbanger, and he knew he wasn't finna fuck with a notable gangbanger because all you gonna hear is 400, and then there's gonna be a bunch of bloods in that thing coming out there ready to whoop your R&B sexy flexy singing ass. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade with, but I think his reasoning for not messing with them was a little different. Play the video, and I'll tell you why I believe. Same reason why I don't think he would sing to RJ Young's. Oh, well, I don't think RJ has a girlfriend, but that's different.
Yes. Well, you doing pretty. All right, let's stop. Let's not get carried away. You know, this is Dwayne Wade. I ain't crazy. I mean, I knocked my whole head off and then dunk it.
One, time out. I have never heard anybody be afraid of Dwayne Wade. I'm gonna tell you why he stopped it. Have y'all ever heard about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union? They get down, man. Definitely pineapple. Gabrielle Union got audio. So Miles, you would hate Gabrielle Union. She defends his rim very hard, and she brags about rimming him. And Dwayne Wade is a little sassy as well. I think Usher understood the implications of if I go sing to Gabby, this is I gotta sing to Dwayne, and Usher's like I'm not ready to go that way. I don't swing that way. If I sing to one, I got to sing to both. I'm not cool with this. And I think that's part of the reason why he backed up a little. He knew who to play with in that matter. And if he played with her, he knew that he got to play with him.
I love Dwayne Wade. This is not me.
I like that ain't got nothing to do with me liking Dwayne Wade or not. Dwayne Wade like boys, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. He liked girls too. He was still one of the best best two guards to play in the modern NBA. But let's not feel like Dwayne Wade has a very interesting lifestyle.
I think he got too trendy. He married a Hollywood starlet, and he got too trendy. They're all too trendy. Eating butt is a trend. And y'all gonna feel sad when the trend's over.
Nah, they're gonna be out here. They still got that. Listen, man, I'm not judging D Wade or Gabby Union. I'm not even judging that because technically anything done between a man and a woman is done between a man and a woman. I'm just saying certain things that are done to you by a woman leaves you up to interpretation that you might have a man do that to you. And I think that that's what's happening there. And I think that he wouldn't have minded. When Usher got the song Trading Places, he might not have minded that. I'm just saying, but Side note, Dwayne Wade had a very good thing on the Shades Room where he actually talked about how the whole LeBron to Miami thing happened. It was very interesting, by the way. So I like that. I also, the only thing I don't like about Dwayne Wade, and again, people raise their kids the way they want to raise their kids. I support whatever they want to do as long as it's not bothering me. I just don't like when people say my 3-year-old knew that they were a girl at 3. And they start supporting and moving that. The only reason I'm saying that is because if you haven't raised a 3-year-old recently, you probably don't understand this. But I vividly remember what my very intelligent baby boy, both of them, were like. Kai thought he was a dinosaur. Kai identified with dinosaurs since he could talk. Before he could talk, he could name dinosaurs. And he's identified with velociraptors. Y'all would fucking arrest me if I did everything in my power to make sure that my son, who felt he was a velociraptor, felt comfortable becoming a velociraptor. Y'all would have been like, James done lost his mind. This is why we got to stop football. The CTE is flourishing in him. He thought he was a fucking velociraptor. He growled at people. He roared at people. He tried to bite. He walked around with his hands in the claw like that sometimes. This motherfucker thought he was that. But I, as the adult, knew he wasn't that. So I had to make sure, you know what Kai is now? At almost 5 years old, he doesn't think he's a velociraptor anymore. So that's what I'm saying. Trey really thought he was Spider-Man. Wanted to wear the Spider-Man. He thought he was Miles Morales. Imagine me as a dad going around getting my son wet, like outside of Halloween, doing this shit. Like, again, so like that, not because it exists. You're talking to a guy who has a god brother who is Jarrell, is as sweet as McDonald's iced tea. And they got like an uncle or I don't know who it was, but Tommen is basically I was raised with a 6'4", 285-pound, size 16 pump wearing tranny. I've been around this shit. I get it. When you're of age, make whatever decision you want. That's my only beef against D Wade. I think D Wade was allowing his kid to live his truth a little bit more than he's wearing his truth. That's my only gripe on it. But that's him. He's there. He's involved. I have no beef with him. Taste your words. Get pegged. Do whatever. As long as I don't care who you fuck. As long as you ain't fucking me. That is my political thing. That being said, I know for a fact that my boys right now at this juncture, if they were going blind, you know what they would want to see? Some goddamn titties. so I can say that without a shadow of a fact. Old heads, stop acting brand new. Like Tupac ain't have a nose ring too. I love my basketball. And I'm bringing this up. Nobody's better than football old heads. One thing we don't do is go around. We'll say back in my day, and the sport was more violent, but we tend to like give props to the next generation. I used to joke about hating Lonnie Pryor, not because I hated Lonnie Pryor. Lonnie Pryor just got more opportunities to score touchdowns than I did. So that bothered me. But I cheered because he was the fullback, and I want to get the ball to the fullback. I love when DJ Lundy gets the ball. I love going to talking to these guys and the things. I love NIL. I wish I had NIL. I'm not a hater because I didn't get NIL. I want more people to get NIL because I want my sons to get that NIL money if they're good enough. And what I said this to say, there's a great picture of Chad Johnson, great Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver, giving love to another great Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver. No, oh man, he ain't better than me. If he was better than him, he'd tell the truth. It's just here trying to show love to the next generation, and a lot of guys do this with football. So I'm gonna say this first. So I'm show this first. Show the love between these guys.
A little bit like you. I bought a yours and all your like birds.
YouTube over here looking at me right now. He's rocking the Jamar Chase jersey, but also something that us old heads do. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't know what age you start doing it, where you really start embellishing shit. nobody has more embellishments, and I think the older we get, the more we get removed from, the more he gets, and that's Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson has a 30 for 30 that ain't nothing but tall tales. Like, if you never heard of John Henry, Bo Jackson is going to be Paul Bunyan, John Henry, and Bo Jackson. Like, Bo Jackson legends will expand more and more as his head expands. Like, because his head wasn't that big, his head's bigger now than it was when he played. And that's from a fellow big head. I can talk about that. And I say all this to say, because one, Bo Jackson was a cheat code. I think his Retro Bowl now is what I saw Trey playing. But the Tecmo Bowl, I had to tell Trey this. And people who remember my real video game OGs, remember there was 2 colors you can be. That was literal white and black. And I'm talking about black as the sides of this TikTok we're about to share. Bo Jackson was that color, but Bo Jackson was literally a fucking cheat code. You could not stop Bo Jackson. Like, we actually had rules in the hood that you could not play with the Raiders because it wasn't fair. Because all you're going to do is just go with Bo Jackson and go all over the place. But anyways, play this video clip and you'll hear the elite lies that are being told. And you'll just know something don't smell right.
40. And about 5 yards from the finish line, I kind of like let up and just cruised through. And I ran a 4.3. And I got down there, and so my coach, as I'm walking back, my coach is walking toward me. He said, "Hey, why don't you run the damn 40? Give these people what they want so they can leave the 40." So I said, "All right." So I said, "You got to open the back door," because they only had about 10 to 15 yards of space for you to stop once you cross the line. I said, "You got to open the back door because I can't stop in this distance if you want me to do." So they raised the back door up open. And I told the guy that I was with, I said, "Get my bag and just go on and start walking because I'm not going to stop and I'm not coming back. I'm just going to
keep on going.
Jump in the mic." Yeah. So I got down and everything was done electronically. I didn't find out till after practice. After track practice, what I'd run. And some of the guys that had stopwatches, they had me at 3.9 or 4 flat with stopwatches, but the electronic timer had got me at a 4.13.
So
40.
Let's act. I want to be accurate. Let's go here. Bo Jackson. Now, Bo Jackson was fast as hell. I want to make sure we understand that. Bo Jackson was 230 pounds when he played. 6'1", 230. Hold on real quick. 6'1", 230. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is 6'3", 243. I just want y'all to think about that, right, for a second. Think about Bo Jackson and what he looked like in his prime. And our president, never mind, whatever, former president. But anyways, it's very difficult to be that explosive and that big. 4'3" isn't out of the realm of possibility. Probably more like 4'4". But a 4.17 electronic, 4.13, excuse me, 4.17 is the record. There's only been 2 other people that have been pseudo-documented. One person actually did it. Actually, 2 people have actually done it. I apologize. At the combine in recent history. Deion was rumored to have done it. There is no documentation that we can even know that Bo Jackson even did this. Now, if he did run a 4.13, I think that's what he said, 4.13, right? I can see a hand time getting them at 3.9 or 4 flat. That's right around the, like, that's why they don't like hand times. Is about 0.2 of a difference. Mine, one, especially if you use your thumb, you're gonna go early. I use my trigger finger, so it's a little quicker. And you can actually be able to get it. You're quicker on the start and you're more accurate on the stop. But if you want me to believe this, man, I will believe that there is that the city of Atlantis was in Iowa before I believe this shit. And it's not that he wasn't fast. It's just that we tell these immaculate lies. And what's crazy is there's enough truth behind the legend of what Bo Jackson is that we can actually believe that it's not a out of the realm possibility. That's a good point. Let's look at that. Because he definitely wasn't like, let's see, Bo Jackson track. Let's see his track and field records. So, great question. He ran a 10.44 in the 100. So now he ran a 6.18 in the 60, and that's still an Auburn record to this day. That's fast. That's fast. 6.18 is moving. Like, now I would normally say that I can't tell you that he's still lying, right? Because he's a tank. So, like, your body's not going to be able to hold that for that long. But I don't think it's going to decelerate that fast to where it's a 10.44. That's just my opinion. But the thing is, Bo Jackson's crazy fast. I just don't think he's as fast as what people think. And we're going to end it with this. Because, again, old heads not understand. I want Cap to quit the cap. Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the New York Jets. To New York Jets Joe Douglas. Joe, I hope this letter finds you in great spirits. Despite the less than ideal start to big season, I'm wishing you and your staff and the players a great game this weekend as you look to bounce back. I'm writing, of course, in response to the unfortunate loss of Aaron Rodgers. I know the aspirations this season were and still are to win a championship, and so that a Hall of Fame size hole would need to be filled as best as possible to keep the team on Super Bowl track. As of right now, Zach Wilson is charged with that task, and I wish him and the rest of the team success. However, I know there are currently depth issues at the position, and I've heard the backup spot will likely be filled with a veteran. As much as I would love the opportunity to fill that spot, I'm writing you in hopes that you can imagine a much different approach involving me. I would be honored and extremely grateful for the opportunity to come in and lead the practice squad. I would do this with the sole mission of getting your defense ready each week. If I were able to fill this role in your team, I believe this allows multiple things. Gives your defense an advantage of getting a truer read on the more mobile, athletic quarterbacks. I'm going to skim through it. This would also allow you guys as an organization to take a real look at where I am at football-wise in game-like situations against an elite defense while also not putting any competitive pressure on Zach. I understand the importance of keeping him confident and focused at QB1, and I would only look to boost that confidence in any interactions that I may have if I take this role. In the perfect world for the Jets, Zach will find his stride and shows that he is able to lead a championship caliber team. However, in the event that this is not the case, I would love to offer you a risk-free contingency plan. As a final point, worst case scenario, you see what I have to offer and you're not that impressed. Best case scenario, you realize you have a real weapon at your disposal in the event you ever need to use it in either of these scenarios. I would be committed to getting your defense ready week in and week out. Final point, I would like to add this. Unlike many of the veteran QBs that have been named in the media, I've never retired or stopped training. My training schedule has remained the same for 6 years. Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., training on the field and in the weight room. I've kept this training schedule without failure for the past 6 years in hopes that an opportunity will present itself. I say this to give you some more perspective on where I'm at physically. Colin Kaepernick, he puts his references, Jim Harbaugh, Chip Kelly, John Harbaugh, who is the current Baltimore Ravens head coach, who has not brought him in, and Mark Davis, who is the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, who has also not brought him in. And I ain't never seen somebody want to be a part of something so bad that they sued. I just don't know. I don't understand how anybody thinks this works. You can't sue me and then want to work for me. Like, God, your time has passed. But basically, if you go look at the video, a show that I'm very familiar with, even though I've never watched the episode of it, is damn, I was about to call it a shot. What's the show with the cocaine? Talk about in LA. I love this character, even though it's another one of those things where the character, James St. Patrick? Not James St. Patrick. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, but the uncle that's cool as shit. That ends up dying because he couldn't control his woman. They got the British actor that sounds like he's from Cali. Snowfall. That's it. Snowfall. You gonna get off his corners. You gonna leave him be. I built this shit brick by brick. They'll be damned if I let another person tear it down because you don't like the way I talk. That's right. I can't believe he's a bloke. And then this guy right here who's about to say it, believe it or not, sounds so fucking proper. But this is what they had Salah say to Colin Kaepernick when he brought it in.
Get the fuck out of here, little nigga. Take that dumb shit with you. Get the fuck out of here, little nigga.
He had to say that to him, man. Come on, bro. 6 years. Deshaun Watson took a year and a half off in his rusty as fuck. What the hell do you think is gonna happen to you? And Deshaun Watson was actually at the top of his game until some weird chicks didn't like the weird shit that he was doing to him. Cap, cut the cap, man. It's over, man. You need to send the next letter we need to be reading from you is you saying you've officially retired. I liked you. I like you still. I just don't understand like what it's like Steve Urkel and Laura. Like you think this is going to be Steve Urkel, Laura Winslow. Like you're going to keep chasing this and then the last season they're going to finally give you a chance to date. Like, but she done been through like, bro, just relax, man. Keep it a G. Appreciate you guys for coming in, chopping it up with me on this Wednesday. Still trying to find all the content to be able to release, to be able to get this stuff to you guys. Yeah, Franklin Saint, appreciate everybody. You know, don't be like Cap this week. Cut the cap. Don't be like the old heads. Don't lie. Don't embellish. Just enjoy your life. Live it to the best of your ability, and make sure if you aren't a member, go join the membership. Go. Oh, I didn't say who the winners were. Make sure you go and you join our weekly college football pick'em and our weekly pigskin pick'em. The winner of I did pretty good this week in both of them. I didn't win though, but I did better though. The winner of the Den Media Group's college pick'em. I'm number 1 overall. I think just because I have more wins, but Noel's Champs. He won. He got 80 points, nudged me out. Me and my guy Fort Worth. He beat us by 1. You got that. So I need you to inbox me or pay attention. I'm also screenshot it and put it up on social medias. This is why it's important for you guys, whatever your name is on the member section, to put that in so I can know how to get in contact with you. But you need to inbox me so I can cash app you your money for that. Congratulations. If he doesn't, then it'll just roll over, I guess. That's the college football pick'em. Make sure you go and put your picks in for this week. The pigskin pick'em. My guy didn't go 14-2 this week. I think though he said that he didn't put it in till late. Yeah, Blend, dang, that's tough. He scored 120. Him and Spartan Barton both finished one behind J Dash. So J Dash is 23-9. He's doing very, very well anyway. But J Dash, you won this week. Make sure you inbox me so I can know how to get you your monies. Again, you must be a member. We do go in once we find out who you are and what your member name. Inbox me. This is how it goes. Inbox me your member name as well as a screenshot of what your picks are so I can make sure I verify it. Then we'll go in and we'll make sure we send you your money. Because if you ain't a member, then I ain't giving you shit. So that's because that's the whole rules by it. Got to stay up, got to stay current. So I appreciate everybody for it. Stay tuned. Appreciate all the views, all the looks. Like it, subscribe, member, retweet this out to other people. Go back, watch it again, add more thoughts to it. We will see you guys on Friday. Appreciate it.